Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to hear me loud and clear tonight. There's greatness within you waiting to be unleashed. But let me tell you something. Greatness doesn't show up by playing it safe. You've got to take risks. You've got to go beyond your comfort zone because life doesn't reward those who stand still. Life rewards the bold, the daring, the relentless. Say to yourself, I'm hungry. Now, I know some of you are feeling stuck. You've played it safe. You've stayed in your lane, but nothing great ever happens in the lane of comfort. You've got to get off that path and step into the unknown. Success is for those who are willing to jump off the cliff and build their wings on the way down. Risk is not your enemy. It's your ticket to a life of greatness. Here's what you've got to understand. Most people don't fail in life because they lack ability. No. They fail because they never even try. They never take the shot. And why? Because they're afraid of losing, afraid of what others might think, afraid of failing. Well, let me tell you this. Failure is part of success. You're going to fall, you're going to mess up, but you've got to keep going. You cannot let fear stop you. You can't wait for the perfect moment for everything to line up just right. That moment will never come. The stars will never align perfectly. The right time will never appear. You've got to create your own opportunities by taking action now. Say it with me. It's possible. Let me break it down for you. Successful people have habits that set them apart. They are risk takers. They make decisions with courage. They don't second guess themselves into inaction. They move, they adapt, they grow, and they take risks. And guess what? They don't always succeed on the first try. No, they fail. They fail forward. Each failure teaches them something valuable. They fail, they learn, they adjust, and then they win. Successful people surround themselves with other dreamers, doers, and believers. They are not afraid of rejection or setbacks. They are constantly challenging themselves to become better. If you're the smartest person in your circle, you're in the wrong circle. Now listen to me. You've got something in you, something so powerful that it can break through any obstacle. But you've got to harness that power. You've got to start living from your imagination, not your memory. Too many of you are living out of your past, stuck in the failures and disappointments that have already happened. But the past does not define your future unless you let it. You've got to see yourself where you want to go, visualize that future, and start moving towards it. Say this with me, it's possible. Every day say it to yourself, it's possible. When the world tells you no, you've got to say yes. When the world tells you it can't be done, you've got to say, watch me. You've got to risk being seen as crazy, as too ambitious, because only the crazy ones change the world. Let me tell you something about risk. It's not just about stepping into the unknown. It's about taking responsibility for your life. You see, successful people don't wait for someone to give them permission to succeed. They take ownership of their lives. They own their choices, their risks, and their failures. They don't point fingers. They don't play the blame game. You've got to own your future. You've got to own your success. No more excuses, no more waiting, no more blaming your circumstances. If you want it, go get it, period. Say this with me, it's my time. Yes, it is. Your future is yours for the taking. The world owes you nothing. You've got to go out and claim your victory. Now, some of you are thinking, Les, what if I take the risk and fail? Let me tell you what's worse than failure. Regret. The pain of failing fades. The lessons learned from failure will make you stronger, sharper, and wiser. But regret stays with you forever. I'd rather take the risk and fail than live a life of what ifs. Imagine being on your deathbed, and standing around you are the ghosts of all the dreams you never pursued, all the talents you never used, all the ideas you never acted on. They're looking at you with disappointment saying, we came to you, and only you could have given us life, but now we must die with you. Don't let that happen. And so I ask you today, are you ready to take risks? Are you ready to step out of the shadow of doubt and fear and into the light of possibility? Are you ready to claim your greatness? Because if you are, then now is the time to act. Not tomorrow, not next week, now. You've got greatness within you, but you'll never discover it if you don't take the risk. If you don't jump, you'll never fly. Say this with me one last time. It's possible. Yes, it is. And now it's time to take that first step. The world is waiting for your greatness. It's your time to take the risk, to take your shot. Let's go get it. Now listen to me carefully. We're just getting started, and I want you to understand something powerful. Risk-taking isn't just about making big, bold moves. It's about consistency and being relentless in your pursuit of success. You see, risk comes in many forms. It's not just jumping into the unknown once. It's waking up every day, staring fear in the face, and saying, I will not back down today. It's a decision, a daily commitment to push forward no matter what. Successful people don't just wake up successful. No, they build it brick by brick through their habits. Habits are the building blocks of greatness. You have to look at what you're doing daily. What thoughts are you feeding your mind? What actions are you taking that move you closer to your goals? You've got to develop the habit of risk. Let me tell you something. Successful people take small risks every day. They don't just wait for some grand moment to come along. No, they know that it's the small risks that lead to massive breakthroughs. It's the phone call you make, knowing you might get rejected. It's the time you put in after hours when no one is watching. It's showing up day after day and taking risks that compound over time. Each risk you take gets you closer to your dreams. Let me ask you this, what risks are you taking daily? What are you doing every day that scares you just a little bit? Because if you're not scared, if you're not nervous, then you're not growing, you're stuck. And being stuck is the greatest risk of all. Comfort is a silent killer. It whispers to you, stay here, it's safe. Don't push too hard, you've got enough. But let me tell you, the most dangerous place you can be in life is in your comfort zone. Nothing grows there. Nothing changes. It's a place where dreams die a slow death. You cannot achieve greatness if you're always seeking comfort. Comfort is the enemy of success. You got to make a choice today. Do you want comfort or do you want progress? You can't have both. Successful people risk their comfort every single day. They put themselves in uncomfortable situations because they know that's where the magic happens. They know that discomfort is a sign of growth. So what are you willing to sacrifice? What comfort are you willing to give up to go to the next level? When you take risks, when you put yourself out there, you will face rejection. You will face failure. But every time you get knocked down, you're getting stronger, more resilient, more determined. Let me tell you about one of the greatest risks you can take, the risk of facing yourself. The hardest battle you will ever fight is the one in your mind, that voice that tells you you're not good enough, you don't have what it takes. What if you fail? That's the battle you must win. And to win that battle, you've got to risk being vulnerable. You've got to risk believing in yourself even when the world tells you you're not enough. You can't control everything that happens in life. You can't control the economy, other people's opinions, or the circumstances you were born into. But here's the good news. You can control your response. You can control your effort, your attitude, and your actions. Taking risks means taking responsibility for where you are in life. It means saying, no one is coming to save me. It's on me to create the life I want. You got to make a decision today. Do you want to be the driver of your life, or do you want to be a passenger? Because passengers don't take risks. Passengers just go wherever life takes them. But drivers take control. They steer their life in the direction they want to go. They take risks because they know that the destination is worth it. Let me tell you something, persistence is more powerful than talent. You can be the most talented person in the world, but if you don't have the persistence to keep going when things get tough, you'll never make it. Successful people aren't always the smartest or the most talented, but they are the most persistent. They take risks, they fail, they get back up, and they keep going. You've got to develop a mindset of persistence. You've got to make up your mind that no matter how many times you fail, no matter how many setbacks you face, you will not quit, because quitting is the only thing that guarantees failure. So I'm asking you today, what risks are you willing to take? What are you willing to give up to go after your dreams? Because success is not going to come knocking on your door. You've got to chase it, hunt it down, and take it. Risk the fear, risk the discomfort, risk the rejection, risk being vulnerable. Because on the other side of that risk is the life you've been dreaming of. On the other side of that risk is your greatness, your potential, your success. Now I want you to stand up wherever you are and say this with me. It's possible. Yes, it is. And today, you're going to take that risk. Today, you're going to step out of your comfort zone, face your fears, and take the action that will lead to your breakthrough. You've got greatness within you, but you'll never find it if you don't take the risk. Now is the time. Take the risk and create the life you deserve. This is it. This is your moment. Every day you wake up, you are given a choice: to stay the same, to stay comfortable, or to step into the unknown and take that leap of faith. You weren't born to live in mediocrity. You were born to take risks, to challenge yourself, and to see just how far you can go. Every risk you take brings you closer to your potential. Every step forward is a step toward greatness. Don't settle. Don't let fear win. Take that risk. Your future is waiting, and it's brighter than you can imagine. Here's something you need to understand. Self-doubt will be your constant companion on the road to success. It's that little voice in your head telling you that you don't have what it takes, that you're not smart enough, that you're going to fail. But let me tell you something. Self-doubt is a liar. Every time you give in to doubt, you are giving it power. And the only way to silence it is by taking action despite it. You will never feel 100% ready. You will never have all the answers. But guess what? Neither did the most successful people in the world when they started. They had questions, they had doubts, they had insecurities, but they took the leap anyway. They took the risk. They weren't waiting for perfection. They were chasing progress. And this is what separates the successful from the unsuccessful: the willingness to take a step into the unknown. Successful people understand that uncertainty is a part of the journey. If you're waiting for the perfect time, the perfect conditions, the perfect situation to make your move, you'll be waiting forever. The perfect time is now. The only thing you need to get started is the decision to start. And let me tell you something else that's critical on your path to greatness. The people you surround yourself with matter. The people you allow into your circle will either push you forward or hold you back. So take a look around. Are the people in your life encouraging you to take risks, to step out of your comfort zone, to push for more? Or are they holding you back, keeping you stuck in mediocrity? Successful people choose their circle carefully. They surround themselves with other risk takers, other dreamers, other doers. They understand that you can't soar with eagles if you're running with turkeys. If you want to achieve greatness, you've got to align yourself with people who lift you up, who challenge you to grow, and who believe in your vision. And sometimes that means letting go of relationships that no longer serve you. It means walking away from people who are content with the status quo. It's not easy, but it's necessary. You've got to protect your mind, your energy, and your dream from the negativity and limitations of others. Because if you don't, their doubts will become your doubts, their fears will become your fears, and their limits will become your limits. Taking risks is not just about being bold, it's about being focused. Let me tell you something. You can't chase every opportunity that comes your way. You've got to get laser focused on the things that matter most. Too many people fail because they're spread too thin. They're trying to do too much, trying to please too many people, trying to be everything to everyone. And in the process, they lose sight of what's really important. Focus is the key to success. When you focus on one goal, one mission, one dream, you give it your all. You pour your heart and soul into it, and that's when the magic happens. But focus requires discipline. It requires saying no to distractions, no to things that don't align with your vision, and no to anything that pulls you away from your goal. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. It's showing up every day, putting in the work, taking the risks, and staying committed to the process. Success doesn't come from motivation. It comes from discipline. Motivation is fleeting. Some days you'll wake up fired up and ready to go, but other days you won't. And that's where discipline comes in. Discipline keeps you moving forward, even when you're tired. You will fail. Yes, you heard me right. You will fail. It's not a matter of if, but when. But here's the thing. Failure is not final. Failure is a teacher. It's a lesson wrapped in disguise. Every successful person you admire has failed, and failed big. But they didn't let that failure define them. They let it refine them. When you take risks, failure is inevitable. You're going to stumble, you're going to fall, but what matters is that you get back up every single time. You got to fail forward. Failure is not a reflection of your worth, it's a reflection of your growth. And that's why you've got to have the courage to embrace failure. Don't fear it, welcome it. Failure is a sign that you're trying, that you're stepping out of your comfort zone, that you're taking risks. The only people who never fail are the ones who never try. And the greatest risk of all is not trying.